Supercat NO. What? Hey. What? Hey. What? Hey. What? What? Hey. What? Hey. What? Hey. What?
Hey, sports fans! This is Robert with WTP Sports News here live on this Thursday evening. We got the crew here with us tonight, ready to talk some top 10 coaches in college football or head coaches in college football and a little bit more because there's a lot going on in college football that I know you want to hear about, and we're going to discuss it tonight. If you're in the chat, put any questions, comments, whatever it is you want to put in the chat. Be engaged, be with us, and let's get this thing rolling. We got our man Parlay Poe with us here of Blitzburg Podcast. How are you this evening, Parlay Poe?
Man, I'm good. I'm good.
We also got our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10, who did a fabulous interview the other day with Gabby. How you feeling this evening, bro?
Pretty good, man. Enjoyed a few off days, and nothing better than seeing the guys, man. That's one thing for sure. I know we be in the text, but nothing better than to see us all right here in the same chat this evening, man. Appreciate you as well.
For sure, for sure. We also got the young buck, FanDuel Zaya of the FanDuel Zaya podcast. How you feeling, FanDuel?
Man, I'm solid, man. Man, don't be asking me what's in my cup, man. I might be a little crazy up there today, man. Don't be asking me what's in my cup, man. We back with another banger.
Back
Man.
with another banger. And we also got our Midwest brother post game of the post game podcast. How you feeling this evening, bro?
Oh man, I feel absolutely marvelous. We're getting closer and closer to football. But in the meantime, I'm trying to take care of them babies, feed the babies, or else they gonna eat me.
You feel me?
Thanks. We also got our man Wiz in the chat with us today. Thanks for joining us this evening, Wiz. Well, let's not waste any time, man. Let's find out who everybody think are really good head coaches in college football. So what's your top 10 in college football? We'll all give who we think our number 10 is, and then we'll move on down to number 1.
Man. I would like to hear Parlay Poe's thoughts on this. I know you like a veteran to me when it comes to your knowledge on this football, especially on the coaching side.
I don't got 10. I'm gonna start off with 5 on up. I'm gonna let y'all handle from 10 to 5. For 5 on up.
Parlay Bo said there's not even 10 good head coaches in college football.
Man, it's amazing and interesting that he said that as well. Because seeing number 10, for me, it was really quite a few picks. I kind of looked and seen what, of course, everybody's thoughts was in a favorite, but everybody had Kurt Signetti for Indiana, and I still went with a coach like Brett Bielema from Illinois, a coach who's proven and building up other teams to make a prime run this year. Coach like Lincoln Riley, a coach like Kalani Satake over at BYU. You think of so many coaches at that 10 spot, but I agree with you, Parlay. It was tough looking at 10. I definitely had 5, and I think we both agree with the same, if not all of us.
Well, fellas, just out of respect for his longevity and what he's been able to do over the years, although I think he's been mediocre in a lot of years. At 10, I had Brian Kelly from LSU. Not the best coach, but his body of work, he deserves at least some respect from what he's been able to do over the years and his different stops. So I had Kelly at 10, fellas.
10. Woo.
Yeah, 10, man. I'm gonna go with Kirk over at Iowa. I like Kirk, man. They notorious for having a great defense every year. They can't really get the athletes they necessarily needed on offensive end year in and year out. But I think he is a guy that if you put him somewhere where it was more high power, you will see a lot more from him. But for what he working with and how he manages it over there, I gotta put him at 10.
Man, I really like all of those picks that y'all had at 10. I decided to go with Cal Whittingham at Utah. He's been really consistent whenever he has a really good or decent quarterback. Last year he took his lumps because he didn't have a good quarterback. But I picked Cal Whittingham at number 10. Who did y'all have at number 9?
At number 9, I'll go first, man. Yeah, I might get some flack on this. I'm gonna go with James Franklin. Now, let's just hear me out. I know he don't win the big games, bruh, but we gotta understand they are in the talk of having a competing team for the highest level in college football almost every year. So he gotta be coaching something over there. You feel me? He ain't just coaching the air. Now he got another level he can go up and another step he can go up if he can win some games on the big stage. But we gotta appreciate that we feel like his team every year is not going to be a slouch, and that you got to come play his team every year. You know what I mean? We don't never think it's going to be an easy game when you play James Franklin. We don't think they're going to win it, but we don't think it's going to be easy.
That's a good pick.
I like that pick. I'm in agreement with you. They had him as one of the top. I say winning big games, even though he had Penn State, on a great season this year. Just as we looked at Signetti over in Indiana, I still just think you have to put those seasons together, multiple years, and beat teams. Whereas nothing against the national champs. That's a game they could have won. Games like that you have to win to be, I would say, in the top tier of coaches. So I'm gonna put Franklin as 9 myself. Still think he got big games he need to win, and this would be a year where he definitely has to do that.
Yeah, at 9, fellas, I went with Kirk Signetti from IU. Just on the simple fact, I've never in my lifetime, maybe some of y'all are older, maybe y'all can remember, but I have not in my lifetime seen IU football relevant. And what he's doing in Bloomington is impressive, and we'll see if he can build on that. But I got to give some love to Kirk Signetti.
Yeah, at 9 I went with Kalen DeBoer. I felt like had he had a good season at Alabama last year, I would have had him higher. I thought that there were some games where they really did not play well, and that's a sign that your coach ain't quite where he needs to be with the players that he has. And so I put him at 9, even though I think he's probably a better coach than 9. I just didn't give him no credit for what he did this past season. So I put him at 9. Who y'all got at 8?
And Parlay Poe, give us one. Shoot us at 8. Shoot us at 8.
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Lincoln Riley. He always got a good offensive head on him. It's just he don't focus on the other side of the ball. If he had to be if he was a assistant coach instead of a head coach, we be talking about Lincoln Riley's offense is crazy because he got to focus on too many things. He never got that defensive guy that he need. But I would say Lincoln Riley right there.
Man,
Right here at 8, I'm actually going the coordinator route. I'm not going a head coaching route. I think Jim knows the best DC in the game is at number 8. If he was a head coach and he had to manage more and he was doing the same things he's doing now, he could have been higher on the list. But as a head coach, you got to manage a whole football team. So that's why you're not going to see a lot of coordinators in my list because of just the assignment that a head coach got alone. It's just a lot to deal with. But He is one of my top 10 coaches in college football, so I had to throw him in there.
Yeah, I'll at number 8. I'll take Kalen DeBoer. Rob, I know you spoke on him a few seconds ago, but I got him at number 8. If you look at his resume is pretty impressive. What he was doing at Washington and the team he coached before then, and he gets a lot of flack for last year, but I think that was a transition year for Alabama. Man, I'm not so sure they won't be in competition for the SEC this season. So at 8, I'll go with Kalen DeBoer.
Man, um, I'm DeBoer Kiffin. I'm gonna go DeBoer. Credit to what you just said. Knowing that was a transition year, I feel exactly. I'm agreeing with that as well. I think when you had that transition year, your recruits coming in the next few years really lay out the foundation for the future of what you do. I think that's another reason why we really don't hear much of him being on a hot seat. I think Alabama. That's why I feel they'll have a bounce back year. I think they'll be a contender in that SEC. I don't know why, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and put him at. I'm gonna put him at 8.
Who I got at number 8 is probably going to conflict with what I said at number 9. I picked Mike Gundy at number 8. I feel like he's still a really, really good head football coach. They
Yeah.
just did not have the tools last year to be competitive, even though the year before that they made it to the Big 12 championship game. I got Mike Gundy there at number 8. Hopefully he can bounce back this year because I thought he got fired, but apparently I was wrong. So on a previous stream I said he had gotten fired, but he did not get fired. He still is at Oklahoma State. At 7, I picked James Franklin. I feel like he's been consistent in the Big Ten, except for the two best teams in the Big Ten every year, Michigan and Ohio State. He can't get over that hump, but that's to be expected because those two teams have been our last two national champions. They've been to multiple college football playoffs. So if he's not beating them, that ain't bad because they're the two best teams in that conference every year, year in and year out. So I got James Franklin at number 7.
All right. Number 7, I got Ryan Day. At number 7, I got Ryan Day. I'm not. Can't nobody be in the top 5 born on third base. I'm tell you that right now. Born on third
What's
base.
in your cup, Poe?
Ain't nothing in my cup. If I'm coaching a whole bunch of 5 stars, I should win it every year. Listen, born on third base, I'm not Ryan Day. He drops the ball often.
Mm. I'm going. I'm going with Brian Kelly. It was. It's tough. It's back and forth for me between those two, but I'm gonna go Brian Kelly. I think we all can agree on ways of these two coaches really getting a lot of, big recruits. Whether Brian Kelly's been at Notre Dame, now we see he's at LSU, and he's been at prime schools to bring recruits, not just his name alone. And I think as we all see him being on the hot seat, I'm gonna just leave him at that 7 mark. He got a lot to prove. He could go out the window after the first few weeks of being out of the top 10 tremendously.
Zay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to
All right,
go?
all right. I thought we was about to move to 7. We
Yeah,
on
we on
7?
7 now. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got Lane Kiffin at 7. Lane Kiffin has always been a good coach in my eyes. He was a tricky one for me though, because I kind of was fighting between him and Matt Campbell, but I think Lane Kiffin is more accomplished over his career even as a coordinator alone. So I with Kiffin right here at 7.
Man, I just gotta say real fast, it's always a pleasure to have Poe and Zay on the same stream together, man. It's comedy. But I I got a 7. I'm gonna go Coach Prime, man. I know he hasn't, he's kind of fresh at Colorado, but he's been successful in totality in his stops, and I think he's really building a great program at Colorado. And what he's done with that program, who hasn't been relevant since probably I was in diapers, maybe, and maybe before that. But I just appreciate what Coach Prime is doing for the game, what he's done for Colorado, and that's why I got him as my seventh best coach.
All right, all right. Who do y'all got at number 6?
At 6, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Dan Lanning right here, man, just because he a little wet and a little young behind his ears. But I like what he built, and he's gonna be one of the top dogs after he keep on building that 5 to 10 years from now. So really, he just a product of just being new in the game and young, But he is definitely a good coach that Oregon probably gonna hold on to for a long, long time, man.
Yeah, I got surprisingly when he get his recruits in there. Watch what I'm saying. Miami, Manny Diaz. Watch him. Watch him. Trust me. Dude can coach. Dude can coach, man. Watch him when he get his players in there. Yeah, Miami gonna be back up when he get his players. I like how he coach. I'm gonna say Manny.
Man, um, I'm going with I'm gonna go with Day. I'm gonna go with Ryan Day right here. For me, it's just I don't know. For me, a lot of people question certain things when it comes to him. Of course, winning a big game in the last few years, but when you do something you just did, that gave me a lot of push when it comes to him, because at the end of the day, he's still on the sideline coaching. I know the players have to play, but he's still making adjustments and doing certain things to keep those kids ready for the games that they play. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just leave Ryan Day at 6 and move forward.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with FanDuel Zay. I had Dan Lanning at 6 from Oregon. Like you said, he's a younger coach. He hasn't, been around for too long, but he's been really impressive with that Oregon program. And so if he can get Dante Moore right, I think Oregon can be right back in the playoffs. So I'm going Dan Lanning.
Yeah, at number 6, I was with Mossberg. I picked Ryan Day right here, and I agree with what Poe said. That was why I put him here. He got the head coaching job already on third base. He already had a dynamic team. He didn't have to build anything. He didn't have to make anything work. It was already a fine oiled machine when he got it. So what he's doing was expected of him to be able to do, and he should have done it several years earlier than what he did do it. And so, with that being said, I put him at number 6. Who do y'all got at number 5?
Man, I went I went to post game's hometown. Um, I went with Freeman. I think what he's doing, man, is
Yeah, it did.
something special. Something special, man. What was you saying, Parlay Poe? Go ahead.
Now go ahead. That's what KT put there.
I just think it's something special what he's doing, and for Notre Dame to have the type of run that they had last year. I was thinking of Rocket Ishmael. What was it, Rick Meyer? I think they had back in the day. You think of some of those players when teams are doing good and great. Some of those great teams they had, and I thought of that with Notre Dame. So what Freeman is doing, and he's continuing to bring those recruits in. I have him at 5, and it's a season I think Notre Dame have to prove to stay, relevant in a way for Freeman to continue to rise and not fall in this ranking as well.
Yeah, I got Freeman at 5 too. Um, I got Freeman at 5. He's starting to work his magic with him, but he know sometime he got to know that them little defensive linemen ain't good sometimes. And when he come up against them big dogs, Big Ten and everything, them little D lines ain't gonna work. So once you start getting them hogs in there, you know what I mean. He already got skill players. Once he get them hogs in there, he be all right. So I got Freeman at 5.
Real quick, Poe, really great point. But I gotta say, a lot of those players were from the past regime. His lineman, exactly what you just said.
Yeah, so at 5, man, I'm gonna go. This was a tough call for me. I'm gonna go with Steve Sarkeesian. Um, Only knock I got on Steve Sarkeesian is sometimes I think he come up short in big games, but he is a hell of a quarterback developer. He runs an excellent offense, and I don't know if people been paying attention. The difference between Texas now and Texas when they had the black cloud over the program is the trenches. He done brought the trenches up. So I gotta give him credit for that, man. Texas got the best trenches, one of the best trenches in the game right now. You know what I mean? And I can't hate on that. You feel me? So I gotta give him credit for that. But still, it was a close call between my next guy, and we gonna get to that.
Yeah, at 5, I also have Steve Sarkeesian from Texas. I really like his offensive mind, and he's a heck of a coach, and I know Rob is happy that, he's at Texas right now. FanDuel Zay probably said everything that needs to be said. But I would say though, I really like one of the reasons I really like Steve Sarkeesian is he was able to overcome his personal battles and get right back into the game and succeed. So all respect to Steve Sarkeesian. I got him at 5.
Yeah, at 5, I got Marcus Freeman as well as I think Mossberg had Marcus Freeman there. I think Parlay Poe had Marcus Freeman there. I think that what he showed us last year, being able to rebound off of an ugly loss and get his team all the way to the championship game, I think he's starting to build his team to have the kind of identity that he wants it to have. I think he's going to be a really good coach. And I'm telling you right now, post game, if he's still at Notre Dame after Steve Sarkisian wins 2 national championships and goes to the NFL, he will be Texas's next
Yes.
head coach.
That'd
You
be
heard it
big.
here first. I'm telling you now. If Ohio State don't get him before we do, and Sarkisian win them 2 nationals, we coming to get Marcus Freeman. Who y'all got
Hey,
at number 4?
you lucky too though, cause he really don't rock with us. I don't know why he do not rock with Ohio State.
No, maybe he was a part of some of that trashy stuff y'all was
Man,
doing early.
I don't need all that, man. I don't. Hey, 45 days, bro.
45. 45.
45.
Okay. The countdown on.
The
Right.
countdown is on. Who y'all got at number 4?
I got the young man from Oregon, man. I got Lanning. He young, vibrant, fresh ideas. You know what I mean? Like unlimited Neil, but it's a cap on it now. But hey, I'm going with Lanning because he always it ain't only his offense. I told you this what Lincoln Riley should be looking like. What Lanning looking like. We already know that offensive mind. You know what I mean? So I got Lanning. I got Lanning at 4. I got Lanning at 4.
I went with Lanny and Coach Prime. I think I split this down, and when you mentioned Lanny and everything with him being young, and I went with Prime being older and how he's come in and changed certain ways of things, and the same thing with Lanny at his young age. He's come in and changed the way coming into the conference and doing things his way and making some of the teams catch up with him differently when it comes to the play calling, and for Coach Prime, just when it comes to what they do in the locker room, building everything up the whole nine. So I went with Lanning and Coach Prime. I like what he's done since he's entered college football, and a lot of things has changed. So I just have both of them locked in at that forward position.
Got to be a Florida State guy to do that. You hear me?
Hey, I'm got to, man.
Man.
We got Mr. Claiborne joining us right now. Mr.
What
Claiborne,
it do? What it
TV.
do, my brothers?
What's
We good,
happening?
bro. We good.
We
We're
forming
talking
like
about
Voltron.
yeah.
Yes, sir. I forgot I'm on the road. I just looked at the time, so I had to get up in.
We're talking about our top 10 college football coaches, and we're at number 4. Um, do you
Just,
got anybody outside of your top 4 that you would like to mention?
No, I just got just a number one coach. That's it.
Okay,
hey, no,
okay.
no, listen. Hey, just let him hop in right here so he could just talk about his top 4. You know what I mean? Instead of going back, because it's a lot to think about for real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it dang sure is, especially for me not being in front of my computer. But my top four will be
Just say your number 4 right now.
Just tell us who your number 4 is.
Yeah.
number four, uh, probably Oregon's coach.
Yeah, Lanny.
Lanny, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry, Freeman. My fault.
Marcus Freeman. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, he stole the words right out of my mouth. Y'all know I said my 5 and 4 was really close. So I went with Sark at 5. 4, I was going with Marcus Freeman. All 3 of my top 3 coaches got national championships. Let's just put it there. So I think Marcus Freeman though is literally the hottest coach on the market, bro. To do
Right
what
now.
to do what he
Yeah.
has done since he's arrived at Notre Dame, bro, is just outstanding, bro. They need to pay him a super bag. Anytime a contract come up, don't let him leave out of the building. I don't care. Y'all making the most money anyway. Pay that man what he deserved because he fits the program. He fits the outlook of the program. And he just got the right intentions. You just feel like he's a guy that got the right intentions for his players. And for what they are right now, man, Notre Dame went through a little bad stretch for real. Man, this is the golden age now, man. And he is the right man to lead it. So I think they need to hold on to him by all costs.
Zay, man, you gonna make me shed a tear on this podcast, man.
Hey, that's still my boy, bro. We support him down here in Columbus.
All day long. And you know it ain't too many brown skin head coaches out there in college football. So you know we unfortunately I roll with my brothers just because of that, because we don't get the chance. So when they do get the chance to get in that position, I root for them to show out, and Freeman definitely showing out and taking advantage of that beautiful university that he had with all that money.
Yeah. At number 4, I had Dan Lanning over there at Oregon. For him to go get Oregon back relevant again, to be able to win some of the big games and always be right there at the top of whatever conference he's in, I think that's pretty amazing for a guy to go from one conference where he was at the top and go to another conference and still be at the top. Even though the style of play is different and much more physical in the Big Ten, he was still able to navigate that thing with his style of play and his ability to get his players to play really, really hard and really, really tough nosed football. So I put Dan Lanning at number 4. Who y'all
I'm
got
a,
at number 3? Or did you go your post?
I don't think me or Moss went. Moss, did
Oh,
you go?
Yeah, I went. I
Oh,
hit him
Cole,
with
you
that
go?
home on Florida
Yeah, I
State.
went. Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm true. Okay, so fellas, I had Marcus Freeman at 4. I would like to move him up higher, but he doesn't have a national championship yet. But fellas, man, I listen. What Marcus Freeman has done at Notre Dame, I've heard you for years and years and years, coming up that our academic standards were too high. Nobody want to play in South Bend. We can't get speed. Man, he put all that to bed in 3 years. In 3 years, he put all that to bed. Look at what he's doing on the recruiting trail. So I got Freeman at 4, man.
Let me ask a question post game. So your top four, you have to have a national championship to make your top four, because it sounds like that's the
Well,
only reason why your head coach didn't get in there.
it's only 3
Yeah,
coaches with natties.
yeah.
Oh, only the coaches with natties.
It's
Yeah,
only 3
Okay,
coaches with natties. But Ryan, they fell
okay.
short on a lot of people's lists on here. But I understand they hate us.
Ain't
Yeah,
nobody
it's no problem. But I was just saying,
ain't
I was
hate.
just saying because it is hate.
That ain't hate.
We
Nigga
just hate
born on
because
third
Ryan
base.
Day could easily have two natties in the past 3 years too. We're just one field goal away from that as well. So
People,
so
man,
yes, if y'all
listen.
don't have him up
Who y'all
there
got to
and
stir,
it's
man?
coming
We don't want to hear that. Who y'all got to
up,
stir? We don't want to hear that gibberish.
You must have missed the comment when
We want to hear
Parlay
that
Post said
gibberish,
with them
man.
5 stars, you
Nobody
should
want to hear that
have them.
gibberish, man.
You
Talking
should
about
have
we
them
gonna miss the
national.
kicks, whatever.
of
This is
course
football,
you don't.
man. This is
Of
football. You
course.
miss kicks. People get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, this is football. I don't want to hear that gibberish.
Next
Who
man up,
got hurt?
5 star on
I'm
five
saying
star.
people get hurt and people miss
Oh,
field goals and stuff. That's football.
oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
So who y'all got at number 3?
I got Sark at number 3, Texas. With that, he doing good with that recruiting. He coming up with that recruiting, top 5 recruiting guys. Nice coach, in game. He know how to do in game coaching, halftime coaching. You know what I mean? He know how to do everything. I like Sark, so I got him at number 3 for Texas.
I'm agreeing with you with the same way. I think this is a big year where he could easily, if Texas win the national championship, I think he's the coach that could go from. He can make the biggest jumps and go up to 1 and be the biggest coach in college football heading into next year. I have him at 3. Um, I definitely like what he's bringing to the new conference, adjusting, recruiting, and I think this is a big year, as I just said, for Texas and Coach Sharp moving forward.
Yeah, at 3 right here, that's where Ryan Day actually true position is. Um, I mean, I get what y'all saying. He born at third base, but what coach at Ohio State wasn't? That's my rebuttal to it. We've always been a well-oiled
Or
machine,
Texas or
but did
Alabama or
yeah,
Georgia.
but did the well-oiled machine fall off? You supposed to come, you supposed to maintain, and you supposed to win natties, and that's what he done did. He hasn't lost more than 2 games in the season. He's been to 2 college football championship game, national championship games. You know what I'm saying? So Ryan Day is an easy choice right here for me.
Yeah, I've also had Ryan Day at number 3. Out of respect for the national championship. These my top 3 coaches got championships, so I got Ryan Day. A lot's being said about him and where he was born and all that. And it's a big year in my opinion for Day, man. I think he got to beat Michigan this year, or it's going to be a lot of hot Ohio State fans. So we'll see what happens. But at 3rd, I got Ryan Day.
A lot of hot seat talk.
Hey, he got a record of 70-10. Okay.
In 10.
That's like
This man, like
Haven't
y'all are
beat
crazy.
TTU in. So until he do that, I don't know what to say. I'm just saying that's what the people gonna talk about.
I got Texas coach as my number 3.
Yeah, I also got Steve Sarkisian at number 3, simply because he took over a program at Texas that was in the dumps. They had a 10-year stretch where they were horrible. They hadn't had players drafted into the NFL draft. This guy, the last 2 years, has put more players in the NFL than any other coach the past 2 years. He took over a team that was a dumpster fire, and he brought them all the way back to 2 Final Four spots in the college football playoffs. And had we not gotten a good coach, we would still probably be a dumpster fire. So I got Steve Sarkisian at number 3. Who y'all got at 2?
at 2, I got Dabo.
This might be unanimous right here.
Yeah, I got Dabo. We already know Dabo's credentials. He keep a quarterback, man. I don't care if it's dude on the bench, dude ain't in uniform. He keep a quarterback. You know what I mean? So props to him, man. So I got Dabo.
Dabo here as well.
Yeah, and
I
just
got
to
Smart.
piggyback.
You got
Ooh,
who?
he
I
got
got Kirby.
Kirby.
I got George's coach. George's coach over Dabo. Dabo's falling off a little bit to me, and he looking to come back. He fell off. He took a couple steps back for me.
I say, I say the reason I had Dabo at two, as well as what Parlay posted, and when he had those quarterbacks, they stay at least 3 years, mostly four sometimes. He's literally coming to ACC and he's ran the ACC. You can say what you want, but when you come into a conference and you run that conference with the coaches that were in that conference when he came into it, and to not touch the transfer portal, get to the playoff, nobody expect you to, and now you dip into the portal. All eyes on Dabo, but I think it's a team to watch, and I think he deserves his number two ranking based on his consistency and keeping Clemson a powerhouse. And people forget he's won national titles as well, and he's played great in the playoff.
Hey, real quick, let me say something
What
to
has he
add on to
done
what.
in the past couple years to get
Let
that
me
number three ranking?
real quick, T1. Let me add on to something that Moss just said about Dabo not going to the portal, and that's really one of the main keys why I have him at two.
Yeah.
Bro develops players, bro. He develops. Like you see the group he got now. He got these guys. He had these guys. He ain't really touched the portal. He done switched a little bit and he done grabbed a couple holes to plug, but he still won't touch the portal. He know his running back room is thin. He do not touch the portal, bro. That is a sign of a great coach, and that's a sign of he got his locker room. He got the loyalty in there.
And the reason why he's not even in my top four and he's at my five is just for that reason. Now they have legalized paying players, and you want to be Billy Bad Butt and say, nope, I'm cool. I ain't worried about none of that and hitting the portal and all of that. I ain't agree with that.
Well,
And that's
T1,
the
I
way.
mean,
That's the way to win. Now he
T1,
won't
we
win.
see when we start talking things like that now. Well, now we starting to talk about somebody's character, and I just want to talk about football.
No, I'm not talking about his character. I'm talking about football. You're
I mean,
allowed.
this
You're
is who
allowed
he
to hit the
is.
portal. Go get some players. Go get some players. If you don't need to get no players, don't get no players.
Yeah, but that's a
Ohio
sign of
State don't
what
get a
type
whole
of
lot of portal
dude.
players. We just get what we want.
But I think that's a sign of what type of
I
dude
agree with
he
that.
is. The fact that he don't hit the portal. He like no. If
I
you
agree
in
with that.
house, he
I'm gonna
telling his
recruit my
players.
kids.
Yeah, but when he telling his kids, he like if you in house, we're gonna do everything we can do to make you get better. That's a
Hmm.
character thing. You know what I mean? That ain't every you don't
Yeah,
find dudes
I
like that
don't have a
everywhere.
problem with that. Yeah, I don't have a. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm just saying, if it's legal, I'm doing everything that's legal. And I'm going by the book. If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. I need a QB. I need a running back. I'm going to find me one. If I don't feel, but that's only if I don't feel confident in the players I recruited. So evidently, he feels confident in the players that he's recruited. And as you say, that's the sign of a great coach and developer.
Well, fellas, I also had Mr. Dabo Sweeney at the number two position, man. He's 180 and 47 in 17 years. I'm going to say that again. He's 180 and 47 in 17 years. I really like Dabo Sweeney and especially what he does with his quarterbacks, man. Thinking back on Deshaun Watson and how he was able to defeat that Alabama team, which had deeper talent on. I take my hat off to Dabo Sweeney, number two for me.
Yeah.
Hey KT, straight homerism. Hey, everybody type in homerism.
Now,
Homerism. I got y'all.
with all due respect, I wanted to talk about some of the teams, some of the names. We'll get to that for a couple minutes that we haven't mentioned, even when it comes to crystal ball and such. So we got you coming on that with KT.
Yeah, I had Dabo at number two as well. I felt like what he's been able to do as a head coach, and he stays relevant. He thought he had a quarterback in DJU. DJU was a buster, and he had to go with a freshman quarterback. in Cade Klubnik, who finished the season really, really strong that year and then came back his sophomore year and played really well. And we saw what he did last year. He was really, really good last year. And I think he's going to be really, really good this year. And I think that Dabo Sweeney is the reason why this team has been able to stay in shape. And even though they had some times where we thought they were going down because they weren't in the national championship hunt, they were still a really, really good football team. They just wasn't able to make that top four to get into the college football playoffs. But I still think he's still one of the best coaches in college football. But I'd like for us to tackle this question by KT though, and give us your thoughts on where y'all think uh, Mario Cristobal should be. So he said, no Mario Cristobal in the top 10 with his body of work at Oregon and what he's doing at Miami. What's y'all's thoughts on Mario Cristobal?
I mean, we got to understand Mario Cristobal lost 9 games before he got to Oregon. So how is you losing 9 games and you one of the best coaches in the country? You get what I'm saying? You got to take the full body of work. It's other dudes out there that's over my. And I was gonna ask y'all too.
Yeah.
Give me y'all's honorable mention, coach. But since we already on the topic, you feel me? Get him out of here, man. That defense was trash last year, man. Come on, man. Throw him away. Hey,
Super
throw
trash.
him away, cuz.
Super
What you
trash.
talking about?
And then he got an elite quarterback.
Yeah, at that, you feel me?
Yeah,
Come
you
on,
know what I
man.
mean? Your quarterback was elite. What you mean?
Hey, he only been in Miami for 3 years. He probably got 17, 18 losses. What are we talking about?
I can't say much, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Even though we lost to him last year, I think he's a coach that, like Lane Kiffin, who I didn't mention, who Lincoln Riley I had coming in at 10, and you think about Dillingham over at Arizona State. You know, these are coaches that a lot of people feel they may be in or didn't get mentioned, but he have a lot to prove this year at Miami. They went off Cam Ward last year, and we seen where that got them outside of the playoff looking in. So, with that being said, I think he could be on the hot seat a month in, depending on what Miami do. Nothing against his resume and his body of work and what he's done to get in those positions. Being at Miami, it's a great position, but I think he definitely has some things to prove this season.
The hot seat.
Hey, put this comment on the screen real quick. Bro, Kirk Cinetti, you talking about a dude that only lost 6 games in his career. Yeah, he a little young and wet behind the ears, but his first year he went 11-2 in the Big Ten, bro. You can't listen. Dan Lanning got the same coaching record. He up there. You ain't complaining about him. You're not complaining about him being above of Mark Cristobal. You're not complaining about him. I'm just saying, bro. You gotta make it look like the same way on both sides of the spectrum, bro. Like Dan Lanning, this only what Dan Lanning's 4th year coaching. You gotta say that about Dan Lanning too, but you don't want to say that because he at Oregon. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why you want to say it.
Go look at his big game resume. What's his big game resume? That's a good question. That's a great question.
I mean, I tend to agree with what KT's saying about the fact that some of us throughout Indiana's coach, he had a favorable schedule. When he played somebody good, what happened to him? He got the hell beat out of him.
Hey,
And
the Big Ten
when he
is the
played
Big
somebody
Ten,
good
bro.
in the playoffs, he got outdone too. So I'm like, dude, he benefited from it. I'm not saying he can't coach, because I believe he's a really good coach. But is he really top 10 because he won 11-1 with an Indiana team that had a favorable schedule? I don't think so, man. Because when he played somebody that was good, what did he do? He got knocked around.
I'm with you,
Hey.
man, but that's still IU, man.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Listen,
if
bro.
IU played 10 Purdue's, he's supposed to be 11-1.
They better be 12 and
Bro,
0.
IU the year before went 3-9. The year before that, they went 4-8. It don't matter. They was at the bottom of the Big Ten. Period.
They were.
It don't matter.
Well, he bought a whole squad over with him. He didn't have turnover
James
in
Madison. from
He bought a whole squad.
from James Madison. So you telling me
Right,
James
right.
Madison was supposed to be at the top of the Big Ten last year? That's what you telling
Hey,
me.
no, but they were seniors, and the game is different now. You get them 4-year players out here with that experience, and now you're seeing those transfer kids come from those smaller schools and go have a little bit of success at a Power 4 school.
Now, the crazy thing to think about in all this too. I mean, I get his point. It's making me think about a breakdown I did earlier in the season, like about 6 7 months ago. I broke down Day, Franklin, DeBoer, and Cristobal when it come to big games, the whole nine, school to school, and they were all right there, almost neck to neck. I think Day being right there, just a hair percentage or so at the top, and with the way the end of the season, with them being national champion, I think they, of course, you get that credit. I think with the way Penn State played, I think you have Franklin in there, and I think on the mere fact of, even though Miami has Carson Beck coming in this year, I think with Alabama and DeBoer having that young talent, that Ryan Williams per se, that Miller that they have coming in, Simpson, and that recruiting class, I think that's why, my opinion, I have DeBoer in there outside the crystal ball. It makes me think of all those factors coming into, play as well. So nothing against Crystal Ball. I think he's a great coach, as all of them are. I think when you're in certain positions, you're dealing with the cards that you dealt, and he's doing the best that he can. But I think we can see some improvement to make his coaching go up.
Yeah. All right. Well, who y'all got at number one?
Kirby.
Well,
Kirby Smart.
Yeah, Kirby. I got Kirby too.
Man, Kirby Smart. I ain't gonna talk about
Y'all know I'm a homer. I got Ryan Day.
Yeah. You're a liar too.
I'm not. Check his record. Check his
Where,
record, baby.
well, where did you have Kirby?
I had Kirby. Kirby was number 2 for me.
Number two.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's easily Kirby for me, man.
I had
He
Kirk.
he went through the game. He went through the game when there was a lot of skin in the game too. You know what I mean? Now it's really kind of up for grabs. Whoever
Yeah.
could really make a move in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, it's really up for grabs. But like he was doing it when it was just like kind of chaotic. I don't want to use the word demonic. I'll say chaotic. It was real chaotic. Nick Saban was in the world. Then you still had
Yeah.
to go through the gauntlet out there. Then you still had your other teams that you had to play from the ACC being good through them years, and then you still had to deal with the Big Ten, and they was winning. They was the next team winning for real. It looked like every time you looked up, it was, if it wasn't Nick Saban, it looked like it was him. So I gotta give it
Hmm
to Kirby.
Hey, real quick, fellas, before we move on, I just gotta mention that while it's not a lot of players, Dabo did bring in 3 players from the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't say he wasn't getting them. We said he wasn't active like the couple years he was when it first came out. He wasn't active in the portal. We
Yeah,
wouldn't
and
say he
post.
didn't
I
get them.
said, yeah, I said he done tweaked it now where he just
Yeah,
gonna grab a couple to fill a couple holes, but
yeah,
he still ain't want to go out and get no running back. It was some running backs he could
Yeah,
have went
he
out there
still
and
ain't
got.
active.
yeah. But the first couple
I
of
feel
years
like
he
he
didn't
hit.
get no portal dudes though.
Yeah, I felt like he hit 2 or 3, and then he was just like, I feel too
Yeah,
uncomfortable to go get 4. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's just Dabo though.
And I think people forget Georgia. Kirby Smart built the dynasty over in Georgia before they had a little bit of a debacle. 2 of the last 4 championships. So that's something we can't forget about. So when you're doing something like that, that means you flipping a coin. Either you're gonna win the championship or not before the season starts, pretty much. So
bruh. His whole defensive line go to the NFL, bruh.
yeah, I mean he's
I
definitely
mean,
going up
everybody
there.
on that D line be going to the NFL.
Facts.
Yeah, I heard something today where he got like 6 players projected to go in the first round next season.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
and for him to continue to recruit and build what he's building, and we talking about Dabo, we talking about Dan Lanning. Sark, Freeman, the coaches that we're talking about, he's still being able to keep that Bulldog team together and play great football week in, week out, and be this top coach every time.
Yeah. KT still trying to get y'all to pick Mario Cristobal in his top 10. He said his record at Oregon is 35-13 with 2 Pac-12 championships. He won his man in the top 10.
Tell Miami to get 10 wins this season.
What's the name? Is Beck considered elite quarterback?
Good
Not in
question.
my opinion.
Is Beck gonna be healthy?
That's a great question.
Is he going to be healthy? Do y'all think the NCAA should rework the House Settlement Agreement and base it off of how many sports you have at your university?
I don't know, because it's still basketball schools out there. Like UConn and UConn, Kentucky, and schools like that that's gonna put all their money into their well, I'm gonna say 50% at least into the basketball program. They ain't gonna spend like 70% like the blue bloods, you know what I mean? Like the football blue bloods, like they ain't gonna do that. So I don't know about that one.
I'm almost in the same way. I think they already made the decision. I don't think it's worth the hassle of going through anything more. I think they just got to let it play out for right now. It's been played out. It got played out for so many years for them to come up with this decision. I think they need to let go and let's see what goes on with it. Then you can go from there. You can really figure things out instead of trying to rework something that you already have in place, even though I'm sure they got other ways of trying to do things also.
So I think basketball is different when you think about basketball, but when you talk about the whole sports base, the biggest thing about the house settlement and these salary caps in football and the 20.5 to me that I thought about originally was travel expenses. Travel expenses is probably the most costly thing for a la volleyball, a la softball, a la tennis, you know what I mean? Golf, all these different sports, even though the teams ain't as deep, so you don't need as much money. But basketball, when I think about basketball, I think about the helmets being off, the brand being able to be better because kids can now look at you and see who you are, and they can try to emulate the things that you do because they can put a actual craft to a face. It's kind of harder in football wearing helmets. If a kid see you make a good play on the football field, they don't really know who you are. They just got to remember your jersey, and then they got to do their own research from there. And then it's 105 of them too on the team. So I don't think the settlement needs to be reworked. I think schools need to be more potent about the expenses and where they're allocated, because at the end of the day, the travel is the main thing for real to me. Now, in this NIL era, I think everybody, it's like a free-for-all. If you got a brand, you're going to make a bag. But if you also just on the team, you should have a starting base number where you ain't just going to be hungry, and these kids ain't just going to be hungry no more. That's what we trying to cut out. That part of being a student athlete and you just being hungry, eating noodles. That's the main thing that I feel like they was trying to cut out, because a lot of these kids were starving trying to play sports and trying to get some money on the side. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
the
still
stars
a
is,
leg.
but stars is going to be stars across any sport. What you say, Paul?
I'm saying stealing crab legs and stuff. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure, bro.
Yeah,
Stars, a star in any sport is gonna be a star. Period. You feel me? Because people follow what they like. So if you're a golfing fan, like I got a buddy that he go golfing every morning. He know the golfing dudes. You know what I mean? He know all the golfing dudes. He know the ones in college and all that. I'm just saying, you follow what you follow, bro. So your brand is gonna bring money, but the settlement is to leave kids from being hungry, bro.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything should be reworked at the moment. Maybe a couple years down the line, once we see how things play out, we can get a better read on it. But as of now, I don't think they should rework it. Could it be considered down the line? Maybe, because when you talk about basing on how many sports a school has, then we talking about smaller schools, correct? Because I'm pretty sure the bigger universities have, pretty much every sport. So not now, maybe down the line is something they can look at and maybe cater to those type of schools. We'll see.
Well, they got some sports that are kind of like regional too, because like everybody don't have uh, beach volleyball. Everybody don't have that sport because it's a regional thing. So
Yeah.
you don't always have the kind of weather, or you might not even have the sand to where you can even do something like that, not unless you bring it in. So everybody's not going to necessarily do beach volleyball, but then you have some schools that have it. So I mean, it doesn't matter to me if they rework it or not. I just don't want to see a school that does not have football getting $20.8 million, and they can keep it all to their basketball program. That's what I don't want to see. But I don't know if we had that issue out there or not. Something must be going on with Todd's his video because he keep popping in and out. So, what's your thoughts on this next question? What issues might Texas Tech and schools signing players to multi-year deals run into with the salary cap,
Florida
especially if it's
State.
guaranteed money?
Florida State.
What issues might they run into?
Florida State.
They might run into Florida State.
Yeah, they might run into Florida State issues where they go 10-2 and then 2-10.
Man.
Oh man, that's deep.
Just saying, man, Marshall, I ain't letting up. I told y'all the closer I
Yeah.
get to this season,
Yeah.
man, the more
That,
y'all
that,
gonna catch it.
yeah. That's deep.
It's,
That's deep.
it's yeah, that was deep. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That was deep.
Hey, Florida State ran into that problem because they didn't allocate their money right. I'm just saying. This is exactly why. And they went and got all them portal dudes. They paid them. Boom. Then the next year they tried to do it again. They paid the wrong dudes.
We sent a lot of people from that team though. We sent a lot of people to
But
that.
did y'all not pay the next group that came in and y'all paid the wrong dudes, right?
I think I mean I agree with you in some ways with what you're saying, especially with this team. I think they're the type of team I think we all gotta watch. Are they building something for just this year? You know what I mean? Like I haven't kept a close eye as much as I want to when it comes to this whole situation, but I know they're over there spending a lot of money. And is it something that they're putting all their investment in for just one season or two seasons? Is it something like you just said, Zay, that's going to catch up with them fast instead of slow? So I'm gonna just stay locked in on it myself. I'm not going to really say it's all and how everything happened at Florida State. I think we lost a lot and we put some money into a quarterback that we had interest in coming out, but he chose another school. So I think that was just our way of making sure that we secure him and coming back. But outside of that, I think it's just something that is for sure to watch.
So we talking about you talking about what the school pay them out, what the school pay them, because what I read was if the schools when they get them nil deals from other like uh like car dealerships or something like that, if it's not promoting uh if it's not promoting something that they outlaw on that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like so yeah, that guaranteed money is crazy though. So
Yeah. I understand that schools have a cap now and what they can pay the players, but I don't know. I still get this feeling where they still working out under the table deals. So
Dang, you
Uh,
say they still getting down and dirty, although they making meals.
Yeah,
yeah, because they don't got to report some of it, and
Mm-hmm.
and we know Texas Tech they pockets deeper than the kangaroo pouch. So
Yeah, that
it's
oil money.
yeah, it's man they could report a certain number, but whispering another.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that.
yeah. Somebody gonna find a way to cheat always.
Yeah, they're definitely playing in a great area right now with this whole thing. The thing that concerns me is you got a team like Texas Tech and some other teams out there that are throwing this money around, and you're giving all this money to guys who haven't touched the field yet. But then there's going to come a time when you ain't going to have no money to retain these guys
Right.
because you're going to have it already tied up. So you might have a kid who turns out and you can't keep him because now you ain't got no money to keep him with, and somebody else is able
Yeah,
to
that's a
go
great
out there
point.
and shopping, and now you don't have no bread to keep this guy. So I think you see teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. You see those Texas, you see the Georgia, you see those teams holding back some of their money because they know, listen, I got this sophomore on my team that's going to be a starter. He's going to need more money next year. I cannot afford to give some other kid who plays his position more money than what he deserves because I'm gonna have to bring this guy back for his junior year and hope that somebody doesn't pluck him from me because I don't have the money. And you're gonna see
So
a lot of cases like that. That's why you see guys going to other places. Like today, Texas was in the running for two guys. They couldn't afford to get those guys because they know they got to sign the guy that's only a sophomore in that same position the next year because he's going to demand more money. Otherwise, somebody's going to recruit him out of there. And so
so
you see that at all these universities that want to stay prominent in this game called NIL.
hey no. So look, the other side to what you saying to me too is also that like so we at Ohio State we do our recruiting a little different. We allocate like top dollar everywhere, except for offensive line and defensive line because we like our chances to get a guy that's lesser and to develop them. So I think every coach in the country got their own ways of trying to work it out too. You know what I mean? Like even like when you talk about Texas Tech allocating that 3-year, $5.1 million deal to Ojo. We gotta understand that certain schools just got a big bag like that. You feel me? Where they can allocate that money, and when that time do come around, if you can't pay that money with your salary cap, that you got boosters on the side that's gonna cover it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a program basis to basis situation as well too, where Notre Dame bringing in the most money that out of everybody because they independent. They made the player. They made $20 million this year alone. They could have used that $20 million to just run a roster back, but I think they're a little smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? They're probably gonna allocate $7 million. You know what I mean? And then put the rest up, $13 million up. You know what I mean? Then they might allocate $5 million next year, and if they don't look like they like their chances next year, you know what I'm saying? And then when they see their chance though and their opportunity, they gonna allocate $15 million. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a game you got to play with numbers and you got to be realistic. Like, damn, can we win it all this year? You got to look at everything. You need all the factors.
But that's what that salary cap for, so the boosters can't get involved.
No, see, this is where people don't understand what the clearinghouse is. The clearinghouse is the evaluate your NIL endorsements. So if Texas want to pay you $3 million, right, and the boosters is gonna cover $1 million, only $2 million gonna come out of your cap. That's what the clearinghouse is. They're there to evaluate. So it ain't the Wild Wild West. They don't want it to be the Wild Wild West. They like, all right, so you
But
got an
that's what it
endorsement
is right
for.
now.
I'm saying though, they like you got an endorsement for $1 million. for what the market value is, it makes sense. But we ain't about to just let your boosters pay the whole $3 million and it don't come out of your cap. They wanted to make it. They wanted to make sense.
Yeah. Hey, No made a great point, and I think something going to be interesting to see is like our big contracts like Ojo got from Texas Tech. Like, will they come back to haunt these universities when now they may need some more money and that maybe that player didn't pan out, but you done already told this kid that he getting, 1 point whatever per year or 2 point whatever per year. So can some of these big contracts end up coming back to hurt these programs?
Well,
I
we
mean,
can go ahead.
Go
and
ahead.
then you got to think about here comes Ojo, who's making what 1.75 million a year, what 1.7 a year. He's probably making more than every starting lineman together.
Right.
Texas
Right.
Tech roster. How they gonna feel about that in the locker room? Is that going to create some kind of animosity or something? Are they gonna be happy for the young man? Are they gonna feel like you gonna spend all this money on a dude who's not gonna play, and we're playing, and we ain't even getting 500,000?
Hey,
Man,
he better
he
perform.
making
He better perform.
he
Yeah.
making a lot more money than a lot of the coordinators on the
The
staff.
coaches,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
He
but
probably
listen,
the third highest paid player or coach on the team.
I
hey, but
think
listen though, we can't treat these contracts like they're fully guaranteed either though. We got to understand that it's
Well, they said Ojo's contract was guaranteed. They said guaranteed.
bro. If he lead
That
a
was in the
program,
word.
they're not gonna pay him the rest of the money,
Oh
bro.
yeah, for sure.
We gotta
For sure.
understand that. If he lead a
Yeah, it's
program,
definitely that clause in there. For
whatever
sure.
whatever the last check you got was the last check, and that's what they was talking about Nico about doing. He got that check, and then he went to ask for more. You know what I mean? He asked for a pay raise, but he just got that last check. He had just got it, so that's why Josh Heupel was pissed off. He like, bro, you know what I mean? And we were paying you when you was in high school. We paid you $300,000. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? So
hey, go ahead, my fault, Zay.
no, you good. Go ahead, gang.
Do we know if they're gonna start getting penalized for not playing in these bowl games? Do we know anything about that?
Man, that's coming. I think that's all coming. I don't
But
know.
there's no way you can sit out a game and you getting played. That's just like in the NFL. They don't care if you hurt. If you hurt, you can play. You got to be injured.
I think just thinking about the situation when we talk about the Ojo, I think for just thinking of former athletes that we all are, if I'm a quarterback coming in and I'm young, like if we got FanDuel coming in and he a young boy, he getting 10 million and we playing our positions, he the 5-star coming in and we didn't put some years in to work. Our mindset, we want to groom him. My thing would be who's going to be that leader to him for him to show different ways of himself. Will he be able to spend some of that money, share amongst the guys? I think we looking in times of who's going to be that player to step up and do those things. We've seen it in Colorado, and we've seen a lot of players getting different deals and things like that. So I think overall it's just something to look at. Because if I got a guy like Parlay Poe down there in the trenches and post game, I'm looking out. We eating good for the season. I'm gonna make sure y'all's pocket well. And if I got somebody like Unk out there catching the ball, like those are the things I think if we see from a team or a player, for example, I think that's gonna be something good for that program as well.
And Morris, that's good. That's good talk right there, bro. And a lot of the times I like to think it's gonna be just like the NFL. I think Ojo's case is a little more different and specific, but bruh, 9 times out of 10, you expect your quarterback to be paid the most. You know what I'm saying? Or the money be allocated evenly to have the requisite parts around a quarterback that's not as high valued as a Lenore Sellers or a Arch Manning. You know what I'm saying? Or Underwood. You feel me? So that's what I'm thinking too. You know what I mean?
And you don't think them dudes gonna feel a certain type of way too? Like you driving this G wagon to practice, and I'm still in this beat up Tahoe.
Nah, I think all college players getting money for real.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm saying
starting.
some of them
Yeah,
don't.
they
Like
all get them now. But I
like
think
their
Hey,
contract
did y'all
got
see?
some universities,
Did y'all?
everybody getting paid.
Hey, I know post game was tapped in the Big 12 media day. Did y'all see media day and how iced up these young fellas? A lot of these young black men was for real. It was
Oh
all
yeah, dicey.
hey, the boy from Utah, the little quarterback Dampier that I'm high on had a bust down Apple Watch. He had a bust down Apple Watch. I was like, I ain't never seen one of those before. That's crazy.
I don't want one. That's crazy.
Yeah, told him to take it back and put that money into some kind of investment.
He got more money. He got more where that came from. He can
Yeah,
sell it. He can sell it if he go down.
he need to.
It done
He
lost
need
value
to.
once you bust it down, though. But
He
I mean,
need
how much do
to.
I think he paid for that? 40,000. That's chump change to these kids now,
Nah,
bro.
that's stupid. That's
It's
stupid.
stupid too, but you was 20, 21, 22. You was
And you
stupid
didn't
then.
see me do none of that.
I mean, you ain't had the money to do it, probably.
Okay. I probably didn't, and I wouldn't have done that with it. That's for sure.
Man, you can't say that because you ain't in a
I
shoes.
can say that because I'm not trying to attract no freaking goons to try to come and take nothing I got.
Yeah, like
I'm not trying to attract that attention, bro.
Man, we know you know the goons. No, man. Stop it, man.
I know that, but still, you
but
ain't
you,
always with your goons, and a honey will set you up in a heartbeat.
That's a
they
fact.
will. Did you hear that story Lou Will said?
Oh yeah.
Nah, yeah.
About when he got robbed at McDonald's.
Yeah, well, dude called him at the stoplight and
Oh
said,
yeah,
and,
stop
and
light. He
said,
took it to
and he looked
McDonald's.
at Lou Will. He said, "Man, I can't even do you like that, man." He said, "I'm just hungry." He said, "Man, let's go to McDonald's, man. I got you." He said, "Dude had him out of pocket and everything." He said he was robbed. He was out of pocket. He's like, "Man, Lou Will, I can't even do you like that." So he said, "Dude, went to McDonald's and got him something to eat." And
Wow.
dude
Yeah,
said,
Lou
"All right,
Will name was good. That saved him.
yeah." But what they caught Marbury at the stoplight and took all his stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Have y'all been hearing these rumors about Lincoln Riley? Do y'all think he will leave USC to go to another good job opening?
What's the good job? Florida?
I heard his name getting rumored if Texas Tech don't do all they got to do with this money, that his name they going after him.
I want to hear what Post got to say, man.
I think Texas Tech would be a really great fit for Lincoln Riley and his style of offense, but I don't think I think he got some unfinished business at USC. And I think he's up for the challenge. He wants to prove he can win at USC. They got to get that defense better. And you know the offense is gonna be percolating, but I don't think if something came open right now, I don't think he would leave. If they departed ways after this season, of course, yeah. But I like that Texas Tech fit Rob threw out there.
It just makes me think about when Parlay Post said coordinator when you're thinking about Lincoln Riley, how great of a coordinator he is. And I know Fan Jose and T1 got one of the top coordinators when it comes to pay, if I'm not mistaken, in those.
Nah, he gone.
Okay. I'm not for sure who
He at
has
Penn State.
one of the top 10 for the coordinator position. My thoughts when I seen the question was, would he leave for that offensive coordinator position that's paying more? Because, like Parlay said, I don't think
That
head
wasn't me.
coach is his best suit. Nothing against him. I think he's so much better as an offensive coordinator because you can see what he does. And when you having to do so many more things, I think that take away from your overall coach. They rate you overall, and I think when it comes to coordinator, I think he's one of the best in the business. And I think when you rate him as a coach, it goes away because of that defensive side of the ball. So I think, like he said, unfinished business, all agreements, but money is a factor in this when it comes to position availability.
Hey man, listen. Oh, go ahead, T1. Go ahead.
No, I ain't got nothing.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, bro. Lincoln Riley, he making me less and less of a believer of him, bro. He was in the Big 12 when he was doing all that crazy stuff. Woo, 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 woo. Now he done win a knock up, and it's like, you talking about leaving USC while they in the Big 10? Like they just came to the Big 10. You talking about leaving USC to go to Texas Tech back in the Big 12, a conference that people don't respect? Man, listen, if he left USC to go to the Big 12 to Texas Tech, and I know the money is long in Texas, don't get me twisted. But bro, you going down in competition. Like I just don't understand why you would do that if you trying to be see the and I'm
It
right
gives him
there
a
with
better chance, bro.
listen, no, I'm right there with Poe. Like when Poe said he just feel like a coordinator, bro. He feel like a coordinator. If that's what you is, bro, just be a coordinator then. People get bags being coordinators all the time. Some people just can't be head coaches. You feel me?
Yeah.
But some people can coach that offense or that defense. So go ahead and do that if that's it, bro. Like that's the only thing I'm saying. You can get to the NFL if you just do what you know. You know what I'm saying? Just be good at what you good at. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Like, but if he go to Texas Tech, he just missed my top 10 for real. He was like 12, 13-ish. But like, come on, bro. Like, I can't have him going to Texas Tech over USC. We talking about USC. We ain't talking about no regular schmegular program, bro. We talking about USC. We talking about one of the highlighted jobs in college football, and you telling me you can't win there? That's the same thing that Postgame was talking about with Brian Kelly. Like you telling me you can't win here? Bro, if you
Hey,
can't
he's
win here, you
there.
can't win. If you can't win here, you can't win nowhere. That's how I look at it.
Man, this thing, he looking like I got to get past Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon.
So
He
what?
look like, man, if
You
I go to the Big 12, I got an easier path. It's a no-brainer.
you at USC. So what if you gotta beat Ohio State? So what?
If
Michigan. So what? You're at USC.
if I'm Lincoln Riley, I'm not leaving USC for any job. But if for some reason he has a very disappointing season and Texas Tech is open, he needs a job, you know?
Yeah, he gonna definitely be on the hot seat.
Hey, time out, y'all. Y'all not watching Brownie and Cooper Flag?
Yeah, the 8 o'clock tip off.
I got it recording.
Oh, no. Yeah, they playing right now. It's 9:04.
Yeah, I was never gonna be able to catch it today. I was probably gonna watch it tomorrow on my lunch break.
Ronnie and Cooper Flag.
What
Yeah.
Yeah,
they doing? What they
They,
doing?
I know. I just got to it. I knew that was coming on. Like I said, I just got in. I just got to it. But shoot, I showed him. They showed Bronny. He got like 7 points in 8 minutes. So he doing this thing. Here come Coop bringing the ball up. They too small. They too small.
This Dallas's first not preseason game, but first summer
Cooper's
league game.
first
Okay,
It's
summer.
their
let's
first summer
wrap
league
this
game.
up real quick then.
Yeah.
Coast to coast for Coop, coast to coast.
I feel like Lincoln Riley wants to be the man whatever league or conference he's in, and he knows he's not going to be able to be the man at USC in the Big Ten. That's why he didn't
Yes,
follow
sir.
Oklahoma to the freaking SEC. I think he understands that I'm limited in what I'm going to be able to do. I'm probably the kind of coach that no defensive coordinator with any good sense wants to be alongside me and my antics. I think he understands the writing on the wall that eventually he's going to have to leave USC, a prominent program where he should be able to be successful, to go to a lesser conference, man, where he can reign supreme and be the king like he was when he was at Oklahoma in the Big 12. I
Hey,
Rock, Rock.
he's a Big 12 head coach, but he's a national offensive coordinator.
I agree
Let
with
me
that. I
let me
agree with
ask y'all this: what if for somehow I know the Big Ten guys don't want ain't gonna want to hear this, but
Go ahead.
what if USC won the Big Ten this season? What does that do for Lincoln Riley?
Hey, post game. I do not put it past them. I
It,
keep on
it,
I
it,
keep on
it
telling
raises
people,
him.
bro.
But what would that do? Would y'all still feel the same way?
Absolutely not.
I don't feel
Oh,
nothing wrong
I don't
about
know.
Lincoln Riley. I told you he a good
Yeah,
offensive
me neither.
coordinator.
I think
He
it'll
just on
just
the other
show
side
how.
of the ball. Why
Yeah,
you can't get a defensive coordinator? Why don't you go down and get Kirby Smart's understudy and bring him with you? You know what I mean? Like, because when they
Hold on.
with
We move.
Alabama's their defense ain't been too good the last couple years like that. You know what I mean? Like Kirby Smart, the one that got the defense. Go get his understudy. Go get his defensive line or linebackers coach that help you be a defensive coordinator for you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Why you can't do that?
Hey, no, listen, hold on. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. They got DeAnton Lynn. DeAnton Lynn can coach some defense. So we're gonna see what happened this year. Uh but this the whole thing about Lincoln, bro. Dude, he got the personality. I think it's the personality part of him for real.
Yeah.
That's lacking him. But we gonna see, man. We just gonna see, bro. I don't know. USC is USC, bro.
You
You
know
get
what?
all the recruits. You get all the
Hey,
recruits.
they had the same knock on Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
They had the same knock on him by his personality. You know what I mean? Like he didn't understand kids. You know what I mean? They don't gotta understand you. You gotta understand them. You
Facts.
know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Lane Kiffin was having that problem with all his stops. He was having that problem trying to debo kids. Kids like, nah, we ain't for this.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. You just got to be able to, you got to be be able to adjust to the times, adapt to the times, and be able to build that, relationship with the kids as well. You got to think they're gonna be out there putting their life on the line for you week in, week out. So you got to be able to have that relationship, that transparency. I think you just nailed
It's
it
a
right
different
on.
era of coaching,
Hey,
man.
hey, but look, I told y'all. I thought USC was the best 6-6 team in the country last year. Rewind the tape. Go ahead, rewind the tape. They lost like 4 games by like less than a touchdown.
Yeah,
They
like
wasn't even
it
they
was
wasn't
like
even
3 or 4 by 3, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was less than the touchdown post. I don't think they far off. I don't think Lincoln Riley is doing a bad job for real. So why would he up and run right now? Listen, their recruiting class is crazy this year. I think he need one more recruiting class after this, and he should be at the top of the Big Ten. Period. We always know he's gonna have a quarterback. Like I think post game said that earlier. He always gonna have a quarterback. We know that. We know that. Just figure out the defense. You adjusting to the new Big Ten. We seen when you first jumped in here, bro, his offensive line, they totally transformed from when they was in the Pac-12 the year before. They totally transformed. Everybody was 40 pounds heavier.
Got to. Got to.
The last thing I had on the table was the clearinghouse has received 1,200 cases for NIL contracts. They've granted 400 of those.
A third, of course.
81 of a third, yeah, 81 of them they have rejected. And I think what they're finding out is some of these schools are sending out bogus contracts just so they can try to figure out what the clearinghouse is willing to approve and what they're not willing to approve, so they can sort of like
Right.
try to fix these contracts up, man. And it's wild that this is the kind of stuff that people are doing, playing around in the gray area, so they can find ways to beat the system. That's
I mean,
wild to me.
it ain't wild, man. Listen, you as a program, bro. That you know the old saying. I don't agree with this, people. I don't agree with this. I'm just stating that before I say this. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they say. So you gotta throw these fake contracts out here to see what's gonna happen, because one thing we know is Poe and them, they gonna cheat. Any chance they gonna
No
get,
doubt.
they
No doubt.
gonna cheat.
No
Any chance they get, cuz. You know what I'm
doubt.
saying? Hey, listen, I'm just being
Hey,
honest. You feel? I'm just speaking my truth. Hey, don't get
you
up, don't
speaking
get
your
mad at
truth.
me,
But
America.
You
that's the old
speaking
Don't
the
get
truth.
mad at
that's
me,
the old saying.
America.
They might not be like that no more, Zeta.
You
Nah, they
speaking
That's the
still like
old
you
that.
saying.
speaking your truth,
Oh,
but you ain't speaking the
hey,
truth.
listen, don't even get it twisted. I got an article that was hot and ready for y'all, like a Little Caesars pizza. Hey, it's hot and ready.
Cotton
Uh
See?
ready,
huh. Yeah, it's hot
cotton
and
See?
ready.
ready day.
See, the university always making
Oh, matter
excuses.
of fact, I sent it
See?
to y'all. I sent it to y'all already. Y'all didn't open up and read
You only can send
Look,
it if it got them cheese sticks with it.
look.
it.
So well, I guess what they're looking at, they're making sure that all of those contracts or those NIL things they got to have a business relationship to them. They're trying to make
Yeah.
sure ain't no third party giving nobody no underhanded money.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what
what I
I'm
was
saying? So they're
talking about.
making
Yeah.
sure it got to have a business relationship. What is this player going to be providing for this business since you're going to be giving them this money? So
Yeah.
they're trying to make sure that we're not paying guys for working at the rec center when they don't even show up.
That's what the Ohio State dudes was doing at the
Yeah, I
Yeah,
knew it
courthouse.
was coming.
that's that
I
old
knew that's
school.
why
Hey,
you. I
hey,
knew.
Hey,
I,
hey,
hey, hey,
hold up.
that's
man,
that
you
Hold
ain't
old
up.
funny,
throwback.
girl.
When all them dudes was driving them rodeos and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
See, Zay,
true.
you probably too young to know about
That's
that.
true. Polar bear, that's
All
true.
them cats was driving
Yes,
rodeos,
sir.
man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
Suzuki Troopers and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
T1. Hey, we ain't gonna feed him
We had
tonight.
that
We know.
money. Hey,
Hey, we
hey,
know.
we did it. We did it. I ain't tripping. Hey, see, unlike them, we can admit when we do things wrong. And yes, we was getting the money. They was riding around in rodeos, shooting out tires. They got money. They didn't know what to do with the money. They wild out with it. But yeah, he absolutely right.
So whenever we mention
We
cheating
keep
in
it
the future, whenever we mention cheating in the future, make sure you throw yourself in the hat.
Say that again.
I said, whenever we mention somebody cheating in the future, make sure you throw yourself in the hat.
Well,
Hey,
that was
you
cheating to
know how
get
long
an
ago that was,
advantage on the
though.
court. That was just breaking them off a couple dollars.
Hey, Michigan out
Which
here.
which was
Michigan out
cheating.
here. Hey, Michigan out here sending cakes and lollipops to dudes' dorm hotel rooms though. You feel me? While they on recruiting visits, and that's illegal. They said
Nah,
if you do
we
it while
doing
they
that.
in the
Hey,
lobby, that's
hey,
cool.
we
But
ain't gonna talk.
for some
We ain't gonna
reason though,
talk
the
about.
dude took the
We ain't gonna
picture.
talk about
He
how.
took the picture with everything Michigan
Listen,
on his hotel bed. You
yeah.
feel me? I'm
Listen,
just saying,
we
bro.
ain't gonna
Y'all
talk
gonna
about.
find the gray
We ain't gonna
area.
talk about Harbaugh. Harbaugh spending the night at recruits' houses.
Oh,
That's how we keep kickers. We
Hey,
keep
he,
a good
he, hey,
kicker.
he,
oh.
Harbaugh just did what he had to do, man.
Yeah, we keep a good kicker. You know what I mean? That's what y'all need to invest in.
Said that
That's
they better
because
go figure
because
something out.
apparently y'all get y'all's kickers from out of
Walmart.
mind somewhere. Like,
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
man, listen.
Well, just our recent kickers been some shit. Been
We got a kicker this year though.
yeah, yeah. We got
How
something
you
for you
know
about
we
this
ain't
year.
seen one kick?
What you mean? He came from the MAC. He's a kicker. You feel me? He's a kicker. He
Well,
came
we
from
got
the MAC.
we
Hey,
got
all
the
the
best
kickers
kicker in
come
the
from the
nation,
MAC.
though. We got
Hold
the
up,
Hey,
best
we got
kicker
that
in the
one.
nation.
We got that one dude from the Mac that be banging them 60
man,
yarders.
listen, AT1, they don't want to talk about it. He
Nah, we
kicked
got
so
the best
good.
kicker in
He
the
made
nation.
our
I
other.
don't care.
Hey, he
Our
kicked
kicker
so
was
good.
first team All American.
Bro, he kicked so good, he made the other kicker transfer. He was
Bruh,
like, nobody even noticed it though, but we gonna save that. That's a secret weapon.
our kicker was first team All American. I don't care about y'all's
Oh,
kicker.
do you know how crazy
I
it'll be?
mean, y'all had to
All right.
kick 47 field goals.
Man,
You feel me?
let's wrap this
And
up,
we
man.
and
Don't
we
nobody
beat
want to hear
and we
Ohio
beat
State,
teams
Michigan.
by just running the ball. You
Hey,
hear
let's
me?
wrap this up, man. Don't nobody want to hear Ohio State, Michigan. Y'all got like over 100 days, bro. We got Texas next up.
55 yards passing. I mean, 55 yards passing and
Hey,
ran the rest of the ball.
that's why your skin itch because you got that amazing blue on. Your skin
Yeah.
itching. It's breaking out, cuz.
Now we've been sitting here too long in this
No,
house.
no, no, no. You just itchy because you got the wrong color on.
Yeah, that's why we can't see your face.
Man, wait till I fix my mug.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I ain't
You need
ducking
to fix
nothing.
that.
Hey, everybody knows they don't duck nothing.
Yeah,
Everybody
you
know
need to
that.
fix. You got an Obama camera phone. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get on the stream with that thing, man.
Oh man.
Look, Poe couldn't wait to come in and get him some.
Oh man,
Wow.
crazy.
My man said the Obama phone. I'm done.
Oh, good to
All
see the
right, y'all.
game.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all coming in tonight. We had the whole crew was here tonight.
In the
T.Y., I'm
building.
glad you didn't get left out, brother.
Hey man, I told you I'm trying to do better, man. Things moving in a positive direction now. So like I
Yeah,
said, I'm trying to get better, man.
me
Well,
too. Me too.
every
Me
time I
too.
summer,
I'm trying to be on more too now, man.
Yeah.
Every time I summon one of y'all, I mean, it's just like y'all just come up. I don't know. I might be like MJ. I might
Hey
be
man, keep
Jesus.
No, we need to get our little what's the name on before this season start. What y'all got 45 days?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm planning on seeing y'all before 45 days before y'all
Yeah,
get
let's
We
set
can't
that
never
up.
get everybody together though.
man.
Let's get in the text, man. I know Unc, you're gonna be asleep, but we might be late night texting because that game on tonight.
Nigga, you gonna be late night texting.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
out.
gonna be
You
up.
know, hey,
Nah, I'll be up for a minute. We could talk about it, figure it out.
put that
See
thing
what
on
we
silent
can
with Moss at work. I'm telling y'all.
Man, my phone. Hey, Moss. Whatever you gotta say it in the next 43 minutes, cause my phone go on do not disturb by itself at 10
Oh nah,
o'clock.
you good. I gotta get
Man,
up
listen,
at 8 a.m.
when Moss do that graveyard shift, mine's going silent. Man, me. Oh.
All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on Saturday morning.
Okay,
Yes,
It's
cool.
sir.
on the flow. Love
Peace.
y'all, fellas.
Love
Love
y'all,
Love
y'all
you
man.
too,
too,
bro.
man.
Peace.
Appreciate it.